me type password. Right, if I type now yum install git, yes, will work now. Nice. So let me clone this repository here. Copy and paste here. And let me do git clone paste where Flask app, which is Flask app, ls, right? So if we try to run this command app detach. So by default, when we have a YAML file that is called docker compose, so this command it will notice that there is this default name of file and it will be executed. But for example, if we have another name of our docker compose, we should add a dash f, then the name of our docker compose.yaml, right? So let me run this command. Network must be mapped in not string. We have an error. Network must be mapped with not a string. Right. So I have to change something here. Docker compose with YAML. I think I have problem here in network, right? So the network must be mapped with like not a string. So it's good that I face these problems, so I can show you how you can solve that. So if we run the command now, so at first it creates network with this is the name of our directory, it's Flask app, then this is our name of our network, right? Then create another volume. This volume, it is for our PostgreSQL database, but this lab we will see it in the next videos. In this lab we use only Flask, only Nginx and our Flask app. So everything is done. So let me go here, copy public IP address of the app, and then paste it. So as you can see here, that our app is working properly. So what's going under the hood? Let me go here and try to show you what's going on. We have here that our Nginx is play as a reverse proxy. So when we send requests to HTTP requests, so by default our container or our Nginx container is listen on the port 80. So when the request is come from the outside or from the internet, it's routed to the Nginx server. Then the Nginx server in the configuration, it play as a reverse proxy. When it will receive that request, it will forward it to our Gunicorn. Then Gunicorn, it's binded with the Flask web app, right? So it will forward it to the Flask web app. Then the Flask web app will respond to the Gunicorn. Then the Gunicorn will send the response to our Nginx server. Then our Nginx server will show us the response, as you can see here. So this is the response. So this is how we can this is how things working. So this is web. This is the server is the web, and we have 2000, right? If we go here to our Docker Compose file, we can see something here. It is our web, right? So this Docker container will play as a host, right? And we have something else I didn't mention before. It depends on web. What means that? When we write this depends on, or we write links instead of depends on, we write links. So the Docker Compose will run both of this container in the same network, right? In the same network. So this this service, right, that we call it web, it will be accessible by our Nginx because they are reside in the same network. You can go to the Docker documentation and check and have knowledge about how networks are working. Because if we have two containers in different network, they cannot reachable by each other. But if we reside both of these containers in the same network, they will be reachable by each other, right? So if we go here, for example, and I want to check our Docker networks, Docker network ls, right? And as you can see, we have here our Flask app network that we have defined. So if we inspect this network, so network inspect, say Flask app, sorry, Flask app my network, so Flask, right. So if we come here and check the containers, we will find this container with this name. This, we have three containers, right? Because I have this container that I have commented here. We call it Postgres, and they have another container called web app, and I have another container that is called Nginx server. They are the same here: Nginx server, web app, and Postgres, right? So for example, if I try to go to Docker exec, I get in the attach a terminal to our Nginx server, right? Bash, and they will try Nginx server container on execute Docker exec Nginx server sudo, or sorry, if I try to execute that bash script on web app, right? So if we try to ping about my web or my Nginx server, my Nginx server, so as you can see that the ping is active.